The Grand Dragon Arena in Kowloon was full of people. The air felt alive, like it was buzzing all around you. It made your skin tingle in a funny, exciting way. Big red banners hung from the ceiling. They were covered with shiny golden dragons. When the air moved, the dragons swayed gently, like they were dancing. The crowd was huge. People were shouting and cheering everywhere. Their voices bounced off the walls and ceiling and made the whole place feel even louder. Everyone wanted to see the action in the ring. Cameras on long cranes swung back and forth. They caught every drop of sweat, every quick move, and every flash of light. In the middle of it all, standing under the very bright white lights, was Kai Zhang. He was bare-chested, so everyone could see his strong, lean body. His muscles glistened as the lights shined on him. His fists were taped and had little scars from all the fighting he had done before. They hung by his sides, relaxed, but ready. The referee lifted Kai Zhang's arm high into the air. The announcer's voice boomed over the loudspeakers. Everyone heard it. It said that Kai Zhang was the champion of Hong Kong. The crowd went wild. People clapped, cheered, and shouted his name. The noise was so loud it felt like the arena itself was shaking. Kai Zhang tilted his head back and looked up at the lights. He smiled a little. He liked how everyone was looking at him. He liked the feeling of being the best. Every cheer made him feel bigger, stronger, and more important. He didn't just feel like a champion. He felt like no one could ever touch him. He felt untouchable. Someone handed him a microphone. He lifted it to his mouth. His voice was loud and confident. "Hong Kong has the best fighters in the world," he shouted. He walked back and forth in the ring like a lion pacing in its cage. "Nobody from anywhere else can beat us. We train harder. We fight smarter. We finish stronger. You hear me? No one from America, Europe, or anywhere else can last here. Not even close. Not in my ring." The crowd loved it. They cheered and clapped again. Cameras flashed from all directions. The reporters at ringside smiled and whispered to each other. They already knew this would be a big story for tomorrow's news. Then, something caught Kai Zhang's eye. He stopped pacing for just a second. He looked up at the VIP section. This was a special box high above the ring where important people could sit. And there, sitting calmly and quietly, was Jason Statham. Jason didn't look excited. He didn't clap or cheer. He just sat there relaxed, with one arm resting on the railing. In his other hand, he held a glass of water. His face didn't show any emotion. It was calm, steady, and serious. You could tell he had seen a lot in his life. His poker face could make anyone nervous. Kai Zhang's eyes got wide. He recognized Jason right away. A small pause passed, just half a second, but it was enough. Then, Kai Zhang's face broke into a slow, teasing smile. He picked up the microphone again. Well, look who's here," Kai Zhang said, his voice full of sarcasm. "Hollywood tough guys. Big muscles, no real skill." The crowd laughed, but it wasn't the happy kind of laughter. It was sharp and mean, the kind that made you feel like something big was about to happen. Kai Zhang kept going, his voice getting louder. "I've seen your movies, Jason. All the kicks, punches, and car chases? Fake. Totally fake. Here in Hong Kong, we fight for real. You wouldn't last 1 minute in my ring." The arena went quiet for a second. Then a ripple of surprise moved through the crowd, like a wave. Everyone gasped. The reporters leaned forward in their chairs and started scribbling notes. The camera operators moved quickly to focus on the VIP box. Jason didn't move at first. He just stared at Kai Zhang. His eyes were steady and calm. His jaw tightened a little, just enough to show he was thinking. Slowly, Jason put down his glass. He leaned forward a little. Both his arms rested on his knees. Kai Zhang noticed this and smirked. He liked seeing people get a little nervous. But Jason didn't look nervous at all. He looked ready. Kai Zhang waved the microphone around and shouted, "Come on, Jason. Come down here and show everyone how good you really are. Or are you just going to sit there and drink water like a scared little boy?" Some people in the crowd laughed again. Others looked nervous. They could feel that something was about to happen. Jason slowly stood up. The chair behind him scraped lightly against the floor. He didn't rush. He didn't yell. He walked down the small stairs of the VIP box slowly, like a cat moving carefully. His black blazer and gray t-shirt didn't look like fighting clothes, but everyone could tell he was ready. Kai Zhang watched him, still holding the microphone. His chest puffed out. "You think you can fight me?" he shouted. Jason stopped at the bottom of the stairs, just a few feet from the ring. He didn't speak. He just looked at Kai Zhang with those calm, steady eyes. The crowd went quiet again. Some people held their breath. Kai Zhang dropped the microphone for a moment. He wanted to show how fearless he was. He bounced on his feet, rolling his shoulders. "Don't tell me you're scared. Come on, step into the ring." Jason didn't say anything. He didn't flinch. Then he slowly climbed into the ring, each step measured and smooth. You could hear the crowd gasp as he landed softly on the mat. Kai Zhang's smile turned into a confident grin. "All right," he said, bouncing lightly on his feet. "Let's see what you've got. Show me that Hollywood stuff." Jason took a deep breath and rolled his shoulders. He raised his fists slowly. His movements were calm but strong, like he had done this many times before. The crowd could feel the tension in the air. It was thick, like a storm about to start. The announcer's voice boomed again. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise challenger tonight. From Hollywood, Jason Statham." The crowd roared. Some people cheered for Kai Zhang. Others cheered for Jason. The energy in the arena was electric. Everyone was ready to see a real fight. Kai Zhang bounced on his toes, looking at Jason. "Are you ready to lose?" he shouted. "I'm warning you. This isn't a movie. This is real life." Jason didn't answer. He just smiled faintly, a little smile that didn't show teeth. It was the kind of smile that made you feel calm and worried at the same time. Kai Zhang lunged forward first. He threw a quick punch, fast like a flash. Jason dodged easily, stepping to the side without even moving his arms much. The crowd gasped. "Whoa!" someone shouted. Cameras zoomed in on every movement. Kai Zhang shook his head in surprise. "Not bad," he muttered under his breath. "But I'm just getting started." He moved quickly again, his feet sliding across the mat. His punches came faster, each one snapping through the air. Jason moved like water. He dodged, blocked, and stayed calm. Every time Kai Zhang swung, Jason was already somewhere else. The crowd couldn't believe it. The champion of Hong Kong was being challenged by a quiet, calm man from Hollywood. And he wasn't backing down at all. Kai Zhang's grin started to fade a little. His eyes narrowed. "You're good," he admitted. "But can you handle this?" He jumped into the air and aimed a spinning kick. It was powerful, fast, and perfect. Jason didn't flinch. He twisted his body just enough to let the kick pass by. Then he stepped forward and tapped Kai Zhang lightly on the chest with his fist. Just a soft tap, but it was enough to surprise everyone. The crowd went wild. People shouted and clapped. "Wow! Did you see that?" someone yelled. Kai Zhang staggered back a step, shocked. He had never been tapped like that before. His fists clenched. He had to fight harder. Okay, he muttered. "I see how it is." Jason stayed calm. He didn't smile. He didn't talk. He just kept his eyes on Kai Zhang, ready for whatever came next. Kai Zhang rushed forward again, faster than before. He swung, he kicked, he moved like a whirlwind. But Jason moved like water, smooth and precise. Every punch missed, every kick slid past him. He barely even had to move sometimes. The crowd couldn't stop shouting. Cameras flashed everywhere. Ringside reporters leaned forward, scribbling quickly in their notebooks. This was better than any show or movie. This was real action. Kai Zhang was sweating now. His chest rose and fell quickly. He had never faced anyone like this. And yet, the fire in his eyes didn't go out. He was still confident. He still believed he could win. Jason moved closer, carefully. He didn't rush. He didn't panic. His eyes stayed on Kai Zhang's, calm and steady. The crowd held its breath again. Something big was about to happen. His eyes got very small, like little lines, and a tiny smile came on the side of his mouth. It was not a happy smile. It was not a funny smile. It was a cold smile. A smile that said, "Watch out. I am serious." The people laughing and clapping in the big, noisy room started to feel different. The happy sounds began to disappear. A new sound took its place, like the wind before a storm. It was sharper, stronger, and a little scary. Even Li Wei, who was usually very brave and liked to show off, felt the change. He had been teasing someone. He thought it was fun. But now he realized maybe he had gone too far. Maybe he had bothered someone very strong. Someone he should not have messed with. Jason slowly stood up. He did not need a microphone or a loudspeaker. He didn't need to shout. Just standing up made everyone look at him. The room got quieter. People stopped talking. Their whispers became small, soft sounds. Even the chance for jokes or teasing began to fade. People could feel that something important was about to happen. Jason straightened his jacket. His eyes never left the man standing in the ring. He didn't speak yet. He didn't need to. Everyone could see his message clearly. His message was simple: this is not finished. Not yet. The announcer's voice came over the loudspeakers. It was loud and cheerful, trying to break the tension in the room. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer said, "we have a very special fight tonight. The Hong Kong champion, Kai Zhang, will face the action star, Jason Statham." Jason slowly took off his jacket. He handed it to a person nearby and then stepped into the ring. His movements were calm, smooth, and full of control. He did not rush. He walked carefully and stood in the middle of the ring. The referee, a man in a black and white shirt, came to stand between them. He explained the rules. Both Jason and Kai Zhang looked at each other. Their eyes were serious. Their faces did not smile. Not even a little. The bell rang. It made a loud ding sound. Kai Zhang jumped forward fast. He threw his hands like lightning, punching in a special pattern called a jab-cross combination. But Jason was ready. He moved his head and body easily. The punches flew past him. He did not get hit. Then, he used his hand to punch back. His punch hit Kai Zhang's head with a strong pop. It made the champion's head snap back. The crowd gasped loudly. Everyone's eyes were wide. They could not believe how fast and smooth Jason was. Kai Zhang tried to use his speed. He kicked high and spun around, trying to hit Jason. But Jason watched very carefully. He blocked all the attacks. Then he hit back with strong punches to the body and quick hooks. By the second round, Kai Zhang was tired. He was breathing hard. His face looked serious and a little scared. His first confident, proud face had gone. Now, he was focused. He had to try hard to win. Jason did not stop. He moved his feet like he was dancing. He was very quick. Every time he moved, he was in the perfect spot to block or hit. Then he used a special combination of punches. First, he hit Kai Zhang's ribs with a left hook. Then, he hit him on the jaw with an overhand right. Kai Zhang stumbled. He almost fell. The referee was ready to jump in and stop the fight, but Kai Zhang waved his hand. He wanted to keep fighting. Kai Zhang ran at Jason again. He swung his arms wildly. Jason ducked under a big punch. Then he kicked Kai Zhang's legs, making him fall to the mat. Jason quickly grabbed Kai Zhang's arm and held it down in a fast arm lock. Then, after a few seconds, he let him go. The crowd jumped up. Everyone was cheering and clapping. They were very excited. They loved watching the fight. In the last round, Jason moved like a lightning bolt. He punched and kicked in a perfect pattern. He ended with a strong roundhouse kick. It hit Kai Zhang and knocked him down. The referee counted 1, 2, 3. Kai Zhang got up at 8. But everyone could see he was very tired. He could not fight as well as before. The bell rang again. The fight was over. Jason and Kai Zhang both stood in the middle of the ring. They were breathing hard. Sweat was running down their faces. Their shirts were wet. Their hair stuck to their foreheads. The announcer's voice came again. And the winner, by unanimous decision, Jason Statham. The referee lifted Jason's hand high. The crowd went wild. Everyone shouted and clapped. "Jason! Jason! Jason!" they chanted. Jason looked at Kai Zhang. He was still trying to catch his breath. Sweat dripped from his face like little rivers. Jason walked over slowly. He held out his hand. Kai Zhang looked at the hand. He paused. Then, he reached out and took it. Jason helped him up. He patted Kai Zhang gently on the shoulder. The crowd saw this. They clapped even louder. It was not just for the fight. It was for kindness, the respect. Jason had won the fight. But he gave something more. He gave respect. The cameras flashed. People wanted to take pictures. They wanted to remember this moment forever. Jason had come, he had fought, he had won. But he also showed that being a good person was more important than just winning. The room was full of excitement. People whispered about how amazing Jason was. They talked about how strong and fast he moved. But they also talked about how kind he was, even to his opponent. Kai Zhang wiped his face with a towel. He looked at Jason and nodded. He knew he had been beaten, but he also knew he had learned something. He had learned that fighting was not just about hitting or kicking. It was about respect, skill, and heart. Jason smiled a little. He did not look proud or mean. He looked calm and happy. He had done what he came to do. He had shown everyone that hard work, practice, and respect could win. The crowd kept cheering. People clapped for a long time. They stood up, shouting Jason's name. Little kids waved their hands and shouted, "Jason! Jason!" Jason waved back at the crowd. He did not look tired. He looked strong. He looked kind. He had shown everyone something very important. You can be strong and still be good. You can fight hard and still be fair. You can win and still show respect. Kai Zhang shook his head, smiling a little. He knew he had lost this time. But he also knew he had gained something. He had gained respect for Jason. He had seen what a real fighter looked like. The crowd began to leave slowly. People talked about the fight, about the punches, the kicks, and the amazing moves. But they also talked about the handshake, the kindness, and the respect that Jason had shown. Even after the lights went off and the room became quiet, people remembered. They remembered the fight. They remembered the respect. They remembered how Jason showed that winning was not just about being the strongest. It was also about being the best person you could be. Jason walked out of the ring. He waved to the crowd one last time. He had come, he had fought, and he had won. But most importantly, he had shown that respect was the greatest prize of all. Wow, what a journey. I'd love to hear what you thought. Drop your reactions in the comments below. If this adventure left you smiling, inspired, or just itching for more, make sure to hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss the next story. Thanks for coming along on this ride. And remember, stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring the world around you. Your next adventure is just around the corner.